I just want to mention a few people as we get started here. I want to thank Mayor Pappenfuse, who's a very strong supporter of our program. Also, Honorable Pedro Cortez, he's our LISTO champion. I went to Secretary Cortez, and I went there with all my stuff, my posters, my flyers and everything, and said, you know, we need a champion for our program. And without hesitation, after I did my little Shark Tank spiel, I have to say, I always like to say that, with all my little posters and everything, he said, yeah, I want to be the LISTO champion. So we're really happy that Secretary Cortez has continued to follow the groups, the last class and following this class, and he's here today to also give some remarks along with our Mayor Pappenfuse. Also, we have Secretary Cortez's Executive Deputy Secretary, Robert Torres, who is also the chair of our board. And we have a lot of other people that are here, and Robert's going to do some acknowledgments a little bit later on, but I'm really excited. We got the fire department here, so we're in good hands. We also have the Chief Fire Marshal, Brian Ederline, and a lot of other wonderful people joining us today. So thank you all. With that, I'd like to turn it over immediately to Mayor Pappenfuse, who is going to do the formal greeting. So let's join in and thank you.
Well, thank you, Gloria, and greetings to everyone. I'm glad you've chosen to have this ceremony this year in City Hall. It was a pleasure to come out to the center last year and meet the graduates and engage in the program. But it's also important, I think, that we bring you into the halls of government and we welcome you. And after all, this is all about training future leaders. So it is my hope, and I'm sure your hope as well, that you someday will lead this city. And be mayor, be members of city council, be a part of the government that occurs in this very building. I'm proud of all of you. You're the leaders of tomorrow. As I understand, your project this year had to do with teen smoking and delinquency and what to do about those issues. And I think you've resolved both a lesson of personal responsibility and the importance of making sure that we keep our youth occupied with quality programming and opportunities. And that is what LHAC provides. And I'm very pleased with all that you do, and I'm also pleased to say that, of course, the city is helping and trying to fund these endeavors through our Community Development Block Grant funding. There's a proposal right now before City Council to help support programs like this, the LISTO, in the years to come. So welcome to City Hall. It's good to see everyone. I'm so pleased that we have Cedrus Cabana out here to help cater a wonderful, wonderful Harrisburg business, and if you haven't tried their food, it will be coming up shortly. So thank you, and congratulations, and I look forward to being a part in this program for many years to come. Take care.
Okay, I just want to say a few words about the program. And tell you a little bit about what the experience that the students have gone through over the last, what started out to be 2 months and is now going on our 3rd month. Tonight we gather here to acknowledge the graduation class of 2017 of our LISTO program. LISTO stands for Leadership Institute Star Training Opportunities. We have before us a group of students who launched into this program head first. Not even 100% knowing what to expect, quite honestly, and they did fantastic. They took a leap of faith, based primarily on discussions with us, and more importantly, with previous LISTO alumni graduates who had already experienced the program. What better recruiters of the LISTO program than LISTO alumni? We have rigid guidelines for getting into the program, but not so rigid that we don't have a nice breadth of diversity in our program, and we get students from all the different schools in the area. We also use Lucero over here to help us recruit students, and she would come to me every now and then I could hear her saying to the students, you want to be in this program because it's going to help you with your future direction. You want to be in this program because it's structured and it's exciting. You want to be in this program because it's full of lots of speakers who want to help you, and because it will look good on your resume when you want to go to college. I would chuckle myself because I'd hear her every now and then. She would come in and she would say, I have another one, Mrs. Merrick. And a week later she would say, you know, I've been talking to the kids, I have 2 more. And that is how we arrived at our class of 2017. And they will mostly all agree to that they were recruited by Lucero or Milani. The students also, the guidelines are rigid, like I said, but we didn't say we're looking for the smartest Latino students to be in our program. You have to have a 4.0 or a 3.5. That was far from what I was imagining, because a lot of us have walked the talk in terms of knowing that it's not always the kids that are 10% top of the class that are going to be your best leaders. And so we were looking for kids who wanted to, who had were open about learning beyond what they were learning in the classrooms. We wanted students who wanted to be part of a LISTO team. Those who want to learn how to make good, informed decisions, especially decisions, because that is a critical point at which you are determining one of many future directions that will lead to your success. We spend a lot of time on decision making, and I think they come to realize the importance of that, because there are critical pathways that they reach, and there are forks in the road, and they have to think, well, if I go this way, if I say yes to this, this could happen. Or if I say no, this is what can, this is where that will lead me. And so we spend a lot of time making decision trees and so forth. And I'll show you a little video clip, a little presentation that shows you them in action working on these programs. We were so happy that 2 days ago, and I apologize I don't have it in my script, but actually just yesterday, we confirmed that we have the honor of having the color guard here today. And so I apologize it's not in my script, but they did take me through the drill this morning. And so I would appreciate it if you could all stand as we present the flag.
Color guard. Halt. Left face. Present. Colors.
Please join in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Color guard. Carry. Color. Right face. Forward. March.
Please be seated. And we're proud that some of our members of our class are actually in the color guard. Thank you. So the program is designed again around 3 components, and I won't follow this exactly, but there are 3 components. So one component is there are classroom sessions, seminars on conflict resolution, ethics, community engagement, like I said, decision making. And we also get into life skills on food nutrition, and we also have PNC Bank does some financial management kinds of sessions, and so I will show you a couple pictures of those in a minute. The second component of our program revolves around community service. And last year, our students did a presentation on hunger, and they developed a hunger app. And this is a hunger app that can go to anyone in the community that is hungry. So all you have to do is you can be directed by upping this onto your phone, and someone says they're hungry, they need food, and if you upload this app onto your phone, you will be able to direct them to where they can get food. And this is something that was developed last year by our program. participants as their community service project. This year, we brought back our same consultant, Dr. Gilio, and the students are developing, because the next Wednesday, the 28th, they will be presenting their final product. But what we did was we are funded by PCCD, the program this year, and it's in the brochure, but Pennsylvania Crime and Delinquency. And so the students decided, since Pennsylvania Crime and Delinquency was the primary funder of the program, we should do something around that topic. And certainly PCCD really, honored and appreciated that. So what we did, the students are working on a project that helps to promote the prevention of crime and delinquency among youth. And they're doing a lot of things. They're developing they're doing a research project. They're developing a mentoring toolkit that can be used to mentor younger students in the lower grades on what to expect when they get into high school. To try to keep them from getting into trouble in high school. We find that, and the students, decided they wanted to start early. So they can go into the elementary schools with their toolkits. The students will volunteer to do this, and they will talk to their peers, the younger students in the schools, and tell them, here's some things to look out for. Someone's going to offer you drugs. They might say they want to go out back and fight, or they want to do this, or they want to do that. And so the kids have this whole repertoire of things that they're going to have in the toolbox, and do some skits with the younger kids and say, when you get into high school, this is something that you might be presented with. And here's some tips for what you can say or do differently. So that's another end product of their team project. I call it their team project. And they're also developing another app. So the other app, and maybe Chris can tell you a little about the other app that they're doing. I'm not sure, but he's going to be talking to you, giving testimonial. And they're also developing another app, and that app will evolve around prevention of crime and delinquency. And they enjoyed working on that as well. So that's the second component of the program. The third component is comprised of outbound experiences. And you'll see some pictures here of them in the Race Against Racism that was coordinated by the YWCA. They also participated in the Highmark Walk and raised money for our center. We raised about $2,500. And they're going to be using the mayor's box to go to the Senators game on August the 19th. So that'll be another outbound excursion they're looking forward to. And there will be more opportunities for them long after today and long after they graduate from the program. I know just recently we took the 2016 class to Comcast for a presentation with a lot of the mentors from Comcast that wanted to also mentor and work with our youth that were in the program from last year. So I anticipate we'll be traveling to Comcast again. So that's an opportunity for some of you that would like to meet up with the students, have the students come to the firehouse. And I know that we have Saul and Tanya at the firehouse because they're firefighters, but maybe we do a field trip to the firehouse and the kids can get there and learn more about what it is that you do. And we appreciate everything that you do as well. So with that, I'm just going to take you through a couple pictures. So why don't we roll some of the pictures, and this will kind of reinforce some of the things we talked about. This is Doreen Winey, and she started out the first presentation talking about this PCCD project and really focused on the decision tree and helped the kids in determining the pathways that would ultimately lead to their saying yes or no when making a decision. And here we have Dr. Gilio working on the team project presentation. And we also had a panel come in because we thought it was important to have law enforcement involved in a PCCD project that is addressing crime and delinquency among youth. So here we have Judge O'Leary, Honorable Judge O'Leary, and we also had Captain Gabe Oliveira. He was here today. He's the first Latino captain in the Harrisburg Police Force, I believe. And we also have Trooper Hunter here from State Police. And it was really interesting because not that it was a bad thing, but last time we did this with our 2016 class, I remember the first question was, did you ever have to tase anybody? To the state trooper, and it was kind of funny because it got into a conversation about ethics, that simple question. And so here, we had 3 different perspectives of the law enforcement, and the kids were able to take all that information from the decision tree on dealing with crime and delinquency, from the app that they're developing, and then hearing firsthand from 3 people in the judicial system that can help them further finalize that project. And here you can see one of the decision trees. And this is another one. Sophia's working on her decision tree. They worked in teams, and it was basically a tree. And it's like, okay, if we say yes to drugs, here's what's going to happen. If we say no, here's what's going to happen, and so forth. And then, of course, you had Honorable Secretary Cortez come in, and he can tell you a little bit about, he's going to be up to speak right after the students get their certificates. And he does a really interesting session on civic engagement, of course, voting, and just a lot of other professional tips that he gave them. Even that was a picture of him showing them how to do handshake. Like, you don't want to feel like it's a wet fish when you shake the person's hand. You got to grab their hand and really shake it. And so they had some fun with that. And then we have our president of our board, Robert Torres, who I mentioned, who also gave them some pointers on, just really thanking them for being here and taking responsibility for their own future pathways by being at our session. And then we also enjoyed taking pictures. So after each session, Brianna, who's our coordinator here up front, who I don't know what I'd do without, she would always take pictures, and so that's a picture of the group. Here I was doing a session on the leadership cue, and the leadership cue is based on a book by Sawyer Zicke, the author of the book, Women in the Leadership. It's called The Leadership Cue, and she also wrote a book on career match. Has to be a friend of mine from New York who authored the books, and I was certified in the leadership cue. And the nice thing about the leadership cue and taking the students through that is that there are personality traits, leadership personality traits that we're all hardwired for. And so they enjoyed finding out about theirs, and they can tell you, you can ask them if they're yellow, green, blue, or red. And what does that mean? And so that's what I took them through, to understand how we have different personalities and how best to work with people, how blues can work with golds and greens can work with reds and so on. It's very fascinating, and the kids really enjoyed that. And also in the career match, it tells you that if you're a blue, gold, red, or green, these are the career pathways that you would be best suited for. And it was interesting because Saul and Tanya, who are firefighters, came out as reds. And if you're a red, that's one of the major career pathways for you, is because you like troubleshooting and running to the scene and being an EMT or being a medic or being a firefighter. And they both validated that through their leadership cue profile. So that was really interesting. And then here we have, they did some surveys. They did about 100 surveys. 150 surveys actually we have completed. And it had 2 questions on it. And the one question is, why do you think youth get in trouble? What are the reasons why youth commit crimes and that lead to delinquency and so on and so forth? And so that's one basic question. And top of the list always comes out, bullying. And this is from youth talking about some of the primary things that lead to issues. And there's a lot of other things that will come out in their research paper. The second one was, then what would you do about it? And so that's how they came up with their final products for their project, by addressing the what would you do about it. And then we got into life skills. And Dr. Lucas from Penn State did a segment on food nutrition, because you can't be a good leader if you're not nourishing yourself, you're not taking care of yourself. And so it tied in nicely, and this food looks really good, but it's all plastic, but they enjoyed playing with it. And then we have Chris in a session with, I'm sorry, her name escapes me. Liz, yes, from Dress for Success. And she also gave them some tips on being leaders, handshaking, eye contact. And we talk about contact the first 4 seconds. And that is based on another book that I had read, and it's called Contact the First 4 Seconds. It's a very old book, and I used it in my previous leadership development programs. And I thought it applies to this group too, because it talks about, smile, eye contact, handshake, and just body positioning. How people size you up in the first 4 seconds that they meet you. Because if you don't smile, you don't give eye contact, you give a weak handshake, it sends a message immediately. So we kind of tried to drill that into the kids. So hopefully you're getting some good handshakes out there today and some good eye contact, you're getting smiles, and they're staying in their space. And then we had Nate come in and talk about from PNC Bank, and of course talked about financial management, and did a great job with that. Thanks, Nate. And of course we had to hold up the banner. I think that's how I got on there. I said, we'll take a picture with your banner, Nate. And so that was cute. And then we went to the Race Against Racism. They wore their Unity t-shirts, and Maria decided that she was going to do face painting at the last minute, so it was cute. And then we went to the Highmark Walk. That was another excursion. That's where they raised $2,500 for the center. And we have back here, okay, that's all right, go ahead. and more just monkeying around at the office and taking some pictures. We've got a couple of students here with Brianna, who's done a great job with the students. And then this is just our final picture, one of the group pictures we took on the PCCD day with the judicial system. And I think that pretty much wraps it up. This is our previous class. This is the class of 2016. And so now we have the class of 2017 that joins us, and that was on our excursion to Pepsi. So does that wrap it up there, Brianna, for now? Okay, and so we'll be doing these acknowledgments at the end. Thank you. Okay, and at this time, we are going to start the certificate presentations. So I would ask if Secretary Cortez and Mayor Papafuse could join me. And we'll start doing that. I'll be calling these in alphabetical order so you guys can get ready. And today you'll be receiving a certificate for everything that you've done for hanging in there. For hanging in there, and I mean really hanging in there. I say it is easier to get into the program and harder to get out of it because we do keep them on track. So thank you. We have a certificate for you from the ALHAC for going through the program, and then we also have a certificate of recognition, if Secretary Cortez could show that to you, that is special from the Secretary of State, and that is a certificate of recognition that he has personally authorized to present to our class of 2017 today. So we will start first with Riator Rami Adnan. Riatormi, she's a senior at SciTech High. She is part of the international club at the high school. She's interested in becoming a registered nurse, and she plans to go to Temple University and major in the field of medicine. Next we have Christopher Cabrera. Chris is going to be a senior at SciTech High. He is athletic, showing commitment to both football and basketball. One day, Chris will achieve the goal of being a mechanical engineer and wants to attend California University, and not in Pennsylvania, in California, he says. Next we have Michael Cruz. Michael is entering his final year at SciTech High School. One day he hopes to become an engineer or a doctor.
Well done.
Sophia Figueroa. Sophia is now a senior at SciTech High. She values her ability to focus and know herself well. Sophia wants to pursue an education in law. Next we have Tanya Jimenez. Tanya is going into the 11th grade at Harrisburg High School. She is a junior firefighter at West Shore Bureau of Fire, also partnered with Harrisburg Fire Department. She is also in the NJROTC, and one day she hopes to be in the Navy as a firefighter. Or a firefighter. And thank you for arranging for the color guard today, you and Saul. Thank you. Raisa Kilimbambi. Raisa is going to be a senior at SciTech. She is currently a member of the international club at her school. One day, Raisa plans on going to Temple University in Philadelphia to study nursing or law. Victoria Maldonado can't be here, but I'll invite her parents to come up and receive her certificate. Victoria, I think we have a picture of Victoria we'll show you a little bit later, because we're covering the screen right now, so that won't work. Victoria is going into the 10th grade at Millersburg High School. She has currently been a member of her school student council for 5 years. She plays volleyball and softball. One day, Victoria hopes to go to Dickinson College or Dickinson University of Law to study political sciences using her bilingual skills. Victoria wrote that she wanted to have the program give her the chance to spread her voice in the Latino community. Esmeralda Miranda can't join us today, but I will mention her. She is going to be a senior at SciTech High School this year. She has great empathy skills and has a natural desire to understand others. She's interested in accounting as well as computer graphics, and she's in New Jersey and can't join us today. Julissa Morales is going to be a sophomore at SciTech High. She is interested in becoming a criminal. She's very focused, and she already knows she wants to become a criminal justice lawyer or a forensic accountant. And actually, I had to say, when Brianna was helping to type this up, she goes, "What's a forensic accountant?" So we looked it up, and there is such a thing as a forensic accounting. So look at you guys can Google that. Next we have Kiana Pabon. Kiana is now in the 12th grade, and she had a tough decision to make because she has to work at Sheets. And so she's like, "Miss Merrick, I don't think I can make it." And I said, "You know what? You just gotta make a decision." And she's here, so do you think she made the right decision? She's in the 12th grade at SciTech High, and was involved in the EPI program, which focuses on medical research. Kiana wants to pursue an education in anesthesiology. Bruce Lee Ramirez. Bruce Lee is going to be a senior at SciTech High. He is a musician and wrestles, and he's been wrestling with a lot of things in terms of getting here today, but will have to leave a little bit early because he has a commitment he must get to. He one day hopes to achieve a career in engineering at the University of California in Berkeley. Chalier Rivera. Chalier is now a senior at SciTech High and is very interested in pursuing animation. He's great at animation. He wants to get a job in video editing and is looking at colleges in New York State. And we have, last but not least, we have Saul Ramos. Saul is going into the 11th grade at Harrisburg High School. He's a junior firefighter at the West Shore Bureau of Fire, also partnered with Harrisburg Fire Department. He is also in NJROTC, and one day hopes to be a pilot in the Air Force or a firefighter. And he's also a drone expert, and he takes a lot of aerial pictures of the LISTO class. Okay, and so now we're moving to the graduation remarks, and we have the honor of having Honorable Pedro Cortez, who will be joining us. Like I said, I can't say enough about him being a champion for our program and just always being here, and you know, just every time we ask him to be a part of our program, he just says yes. And he's been out of the country, and he just got back yesterday. And I thought, oh my gosh, this isn't going to work. And here he is. So please join me in welcoming Secretary Cortez.
Thank you, Gloria, for the kind invitation to be a part of the LISTO graduation. And to the students, congratulations. Congratulations on putting the time, the energy, the effort to participate in a program that further develops your skills, while at the same time you are doing your schools, you're doing ROTC, you're doing work, so it's commendable. I have a high schooler myself at home, and I realize how much work it is, and the fact that you took the time to go through LISTO in addition to everything else you do is to be commended. So we celebrate you tonight. And it is a true honor to be at the program today, and on behalf of Governor Tom Wolf, I send my warmest regards and again send congratulations on the recognition of your hard work, your dedication, and leadership. I'm also very grateful and like to take time to acknowledge those who have been a part of your LISTO program as well as the ceremony tonight, and starting off with the family and friends. So to the parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters, other loved ones, thank you for supporting your students, your children, your family. Encouragement, and I'll talk briefly about the angels in my life, takes many forms, but certainly giving the time and the love and to support dreams and aspirations is so important. Harrisburg Mayor Eric Pappenfuss, thank you, sir, for your leadership and your support. It's great to see so many friends in the audience today, and it's good to see our chief of the Bureau of Fire, my friend Brian Enterline, and his colleagues in the Bureau of Fire. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support of the students. Tania, Saul, everybody else, but thank you for what you do day in and day out to keep us safe. And, the first responders, thank you. We appreciate it. My good friends, Police Captain Gabriel Oliveira. Big shout and recognition to Gloria Merrick. Gloria Vasquez Merrick, as some of you may know, is one of the most dedicated public servants I know. We served together for many years in state government. She retired after 35 years of service, and you wouldn't be able to tell that by looking at how young Gloria looks, but she graduated, she was a person, not only did she provided leadership and great service to all of us in the Commonwealth for all those years, but she used to be the person that headed the Leadership Development Institute for Women in Government, which is now the Leadership Development Institute for both men and women, but she led that program for many, many years, and the last post that she had was at the Department of Health as the Special Assistant of then Deputy Secretary for Administration at the Department of State, Robert Torres. Robert Torres today is my right-hand person. He's the Executive Deputy Secretary at the Department of State. So I thank and commend both Gloria as well as Robert as President of the Board of LHAC for their leadership. And I want to acknowledge Brianna Jewell as well as Lucero Figueroa for the great work and the support you provided to the program. The board, the entire board of HAC, also the LISTO sponsors, the volunteers. By the way, big applause and thank you to the color guard of the Harrisburg High School Junior ROTC for being here today. Your presence not only adds decorum, but it gives the ceremony the acknowledgement that it deserves. And anytime we have the opportunity to honor the flag and what it represents, is something to celebrate. As it was noted, my name is Pedro Cortez, and I have the privilege of serving you as Pennsylvania's Secretary of State. That sounds like a very diplomatic and stately position, but what does that mean? That means that I, with the help of Robert and many others, I oversee the work of the Pennsylvania Department of State, where the agency hired with doing everything from elections to professional licensure, corporate filings, charities, sports, notaries, and a little bit more. But in that position, I have the opportunity and have had the opportunity over the years to provide support to a number of organizations in the community that are working hard to make a positive difference. And I have colleagues here, Pedro Gratacosa and others, Department of Corrections, who over the years have been supportive of programs such as LISTO. And the Leadership Institute START Opportunities Program, as Gloria mentioned before, was something that when Gloria came to me and said, this is a vision of ours at the Latino Hispanic American Community Center to provide another avenue for young people to show their talents, their skills, provide them with additional experiences to put in their toolkit for their potential growth, and then ultimately the benefit of the community. Would that be something that state government will support? And I was happy to say yes, and I'm glad to see that PCCD, the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency, put the resources, and again to Comcast and others, Pepsi, and all our friends, PNC, and others who have helped. But anything that we can do to continue to nourish the young minds, and anything that we can do that provide additional skills is to be recognized, and it should be supported. So to the 13 young leaders, you're not the future leaders. You're the leaders already. You're the leaders in your schools. You're the leaders in your community. To all of you, we say congratulations. And to me, what is so valuable about this program and why I'm so delighted to be with you is because through the program, you show dedication, tenacity, the willingness to learn and to continue to develop your skills, notwithstanding the fact that you have to go to school and work and had other experiences. Over the last weeks, as it was noted, you've had the opportunity to meet with individuals in the community, in the public and private sector, that through their experiences, I hope had shown you different ways in which you can exercise your God-given talents and then continue to work hard toward the betterment of the community. And those best practices, I hope, that help you forge your own path moving forward so that you can make your own contributions. So treasure those experiences, the words of advice, what you may have learned. Simple things such as smiling and shaking hands and what have you. It seems so commonsensical, but it's something that is just awkward for some folks. And it makes whether we like it or not, those first 4 or 5 seconds do make a difference. So you're on your way already to greatness. So as leaders, I hope that what you have learned and what you will continue to learn help you achieve all of your goals. Oftentimes when we talk about success and leadership, there's folks that you feel that they have just innate talent to do well and to do good. And by the way, that's something that I always like to mention. When you do well personally and professionally, you grow, and by doing good, you do well. You progress. You make the community better, and your desire to give of your talents is something that is to be recognized. But oftentimes when you have someone who has been successful, whether it's the mayor, with his education from Yale and all the great things he has done, and he's very humble about that, he will probably tell you, I will tell you, those of us who have achieved a level of success professionally have not done so on our own. We've had those who have been supported in our lives. And what the LISTO program, among other things, do is to show you that there's a lot of people that love you and that will be willing to give of their time and their treasure and their talent to see you through your growth and to help you. And in my life, I've had many of those. They've been my mother, my sister, my teachers, my counselors, individuals in my life I call the angels, because there are individuals that have been willing to give of their time and their energy to help me through my own life. So I hope that you cherish those relationships, the experiences that you've had over the last several weeks, and that you use those opportunities to continue to grow your network of contacts, the friendships that you have made through the LISTO program. Some of these experiences, and Lucero will probably attest to this, those are friends that you will carry not just a year after the program, but perhaps through your life, and they will continue to help you lead the way. So the one thing that I will ask of you is that as you encounter those angels in your life that, by the way, are going to want to assist you for no other reason that is the right thing to do, and because perhaps somebody else was an angel to them, as you achieve your own success, don't forget to be an angel to others. Make sure you open doors. That's sort of the message. Do well, and in the process you'll do good, but don't forget those who come behind you. And it starts perhaps with your own siblings, your own friends in the school. Continue to be a positive role model, and you are a positive role model whether you know that or not. So again, LHAC through the LISTO program gives you a whole new set of angels. Capitalize on that. Try to stay in contact with them, and continue to surround yourself with people who are positive. That's one thing that I've always tried to do in my life. You're going to encounter all sorts of individuals along the way, and you're going to have those who, for one reason or another, are going to want to tear you down, and then you're going to have the ones that very sincerely want to see you grow and prosper. When you have the option, and you may have the option most of the time, opt for the latter, opt for those who are going to be uplifting and positive, and please do that. Most of you are rising high school seniors, but we also have rising juniors and sophomores, use what you have learned through the program to continue to help you and help others along the way. Your life is like a blank canvas, and you're painting that future yourself, and so far it looks very promising, and I know it will continue to be promising. So much as the mayor said, we hope one day that we'll be the ones sitting in the audience, and you'll be up here as mayors, as governors, and in other capacities that continue to improve your life and that of those around you. So I'm confident that I speak for everyone here when I say congratulations, job well done, continue in this path of progress and growth and learning that will serve you so very well. So with that, I thank you much, and on behalf of the governor, the Department of State, and your friends here, and those who couldn't attend today, we wish you Godspeed, God bless, and continue to do well. Thank you.
I know, you're all looking at me. I started in government when I was 16, 15. You've got to mention that. Anyway, at this time, I would like to introduce Chris. Chris is one of the students has been chosen. Actually, he volunteered to give the student testimonial. We have someone come up for 3 to 5 minutes, just talk a little bit about, from the student perspective. I think that's really important. And so we were talking about who's going to get up here and talk for a few minutes. And I have to admit, Saul's hand went up, but Chris's went up first. So anyway, but Saul, if you want to come up and say a few minutes, you're welcome to. But we're going to bring Chris up, and he's going to tell his perspective. Thanks, Chris.
Good evening. How's everybody doing today? Thank you. That's good. I'm here to speak for myself and on behalf of my LISTO graduates and our experience through the program and how it really changed our lives, not knowing what we were getting into. And how do I want to start this? I was walking through school, and actually I ran into Lucero, who was recruiting us to go into the LISTO program, and I didn't really know what was it about or like what were we really getting into. And I joined the program, and I saw Miss Merrick, and she was talking about leadership and how there's many opportunities for us and how it can help us out in the future. And I myself, I wanted to get that opportunity, and I bet everybody else wanted to as well. And we did a lot of projects this year. We did criminal delinquency and a decision tree and hunger force. And I think we all connected with the crime delinquency and the decision tree because everybody in here, I know throughout our lives, we made decisions that we regret or some that we look upon and thought, wow, that was a really good decision I made, because we're all human and we all make decisions. And what the decision tree was about how there's a good path and there's a bad path. And many have been on the good path and many have been in the bad path. But it's not too late to get off the bad path, because in the good path, there's many opportunities and doors to be open for you that you're not going to regret. And that's what we've been talked about with Mr. Gilio. We're doing a project on it, of an app right now. And I just want to encourage my peers to not just to work on themselves, but to get others involved in the city, to get to other younger people and tell them about this program, and not just for the Latino program, but to open other doors to make this city and this community better. And have a little thing I want to say. I was talking about how each and every one of us, when we came into the program, we didn't constantly come into the program. We were a little off, and some of us missed days, and some of us did other things because we have other things in our life. And I wanted to just end on this note that it's not how you start in life, no matter what you're doing. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. That was really nice. I really appreciate you speaking on behalf of all of your classmates. Thank you so much. At this time, we are going to have our close, and then we will begin our reception for you to continue networking and meeting the students and having some good food from Cedrus. So So I'm going to invite Robert up, our board chair, the LHAC board chair, and the executive secretary, to Secretary Cortez, to help me close the program, okay? So we'll give some acknowledgements here.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here, and on behalf of the LHAC Board of Directors, first, let me congratulate the students. I think it's great that you took the time to invest in yourself and to engage in the LISTO program, and we sincerely hope that the lessons you learned, will serve you well moving forward, and that most importantly, you build strong relationships and you had fun doing it, because I think education should be fun. I want to recognize Nate Olivencia from PNC. He's one of our board members. Juan Maldonado also recently joined our board. Again, these types of programs don't happen unless you have resources and individuals who are committed to helping our students, helping us put this type of program together and being part of it. So, with that, in terms of resources, let me first start by thanking the mayor and his administration, because you've been supportive from the beginning, and we sincerely appreciate everything that you do for us and the community. Our sponsors, the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency, Comcast, the Wells Fargo Regional Foundation, all help to provide resources for this program so that we could make this available for the students. Secretary Cortez, again, you've heard several times how from the minute that he was invited to support us, said he would be a champion, and he has always been there for us. So again, we thank you. Mr. Jeff Coble, these are individuals who have served as faculty for the students. Dr. Robert Gilio, who does a lot of work in public health and has supported us over the last 2 years. Pedro Gratacos, thank you. Pennsylvania State Trooper Aaron Hunt, Rafi Lukis from Penn State University, Harrisburg. Gloria, thank you for your work. I know you put a lot of time, and we collaborate a lot when there are issues and try to resolve them to make sure that this program runs smoothly and we can provide it. The Honorable Judge David O'Leary, again, Nate Olivencia, Captain Gabriel Oliveira, Elizabeth Vincent, and Doreen Winey. And again, thank you for the companies that have helped us with the food, PepsiCo, Pepsi-Cola, Sidras Cabana, and Waxman Photography. Thank you all. It's, again, sincerely appreciated. We welcome your support. We hope that we could expand the program, and I'm the last person before you and that food, so I will end with that. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.